Oh, perfect. I know.
Same place as yesterday.
I know.
The hell? That must be his job. He understands the assignment.
Watch things go by. Ogallala. Is this a pretty big tribe? What's the biggest tribe in the nation? Navajo?
But you see, the Navajo Nation is different from here because the Navajo Nation, they don't own their land. The tribe owns all their land.
Why?
I didn't look into it. It was a shock to me too. I was watching Cops one time, and that's what they were saying. She goes, nobody here owns land, like private land. Here, these are landowners.
Yeah, you're a landowner.
Yeah, we own our land. But
So
Navajo
tell me about the
Nation,
Lakota tribe.
like,
How, starting, what it is, your colors, your culture.
Colors are, should I name
So you're Lakota. What would your...
Yes, that's a really...
See, some people get very confused with that.
Yeah, because, there's, Lakota is a dialect.
Oh.
Originally. That's what it is. Our language is Lakota because it's a dialect. So, other tribes, there's like Nakota, that's a dialect. It's a different... in the speaking of words, it's a little bit different. So it's a dialect. Lakota is a dialect, but that's the majority of our tribe speaks Lakota.
Lakota.
Yeah.
Very
But
interesting.
there is, gosh, me and my memory, but I know there's a lot of different, I can't remember if it's 9 or something different.
Dialects?
No, not dialects. Different bands of Sioux. Can't see how we can do this. Different bands of Sioux.
Uh-huh.
And this is the Ogallala tribe right here.
Ogallala.
So you got the Brewleys, Lower Brule. You got Rosebud, which is Rosebud. They're still Sioux, but they're Rosebud Sioux. You know?
And Lakota is a warrior nation? You said there's different. There's warriors. You explained it to me once. There's warrior tribes and gathering tribes, right?
Yeah. I believe majority of the coastal tribes, I think, are more gatherers. Remember that thing where I worked at CIMC?
And Lakotas are what?
We're a warrior tribe. We're a warrior tribe.
So what's that mean?
We fought. We were nomad. We traveled with our teepees, whatever. We followed the buffalo because that's how we survived. Traveled the buffalo, warred with other tribes, but even in the warrior tribes, they call counting coop. That's the biggest honor, I guess. I don't know.
And what does that mean? I've heard that before, but what does that mean?
Counting coop is where you get close enough to your enemy where you could kill them or
Injure them?
Yeah. I don't know the word. Deadly, injure them. I don't know.
Lethal.
Yes. Where you could do a harm enough to kill them or kill them, but you choose not to. You're able to touch them and get away.
And they call that?
Counting coop.
That is very cool.
Yeah.
So you guys, were you a huge tribe when it started?
Yes.
Huge.
Yeah. All the tribes.
They were like Lakota warriors, right?
Yeah.
And you followed I did not know that you were nomads though.
Yeah.
So you just followed the buffalo all around the country.
We traveled. We followed the buffalo herds. And
were you great hunters?
Yeah. think so. Of course we are. You're gonna expect I'm gonna say no?
We're the best, Tina. What are you talking about? Just average. No, we rocked everything.
Everything.
Because Lakota is, when you say Lakota, people know. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
People just know.
Yeah, because if you're native, you know. You say, no, I'm a Lakota. So
What would
know.
another tribe be that's a warrior tribe like Lakota?
I don't know other tribes. How do you say, the way I was raised. So it was a shock to me when I moved to California and I started working at CIMC. It blew my mind. I thought everybody was a treaty tribe. We're a treaty tribe.
What's that mean, a treaty tribe?
Yeah, because when they say, oh, you don't know because you're a treaty tribe. Well, aren't we all? Aren't we all? Didn't we all fight? I did not know. She says, no. Here in California, and they call their reservations reserves or I can't remember. There's rancherias. They call them
Rancherias?
Yeah.
Is that just to make it sound?
No, because California was owned by Mexico at one time.
Oh,
so a lot of their names are Hispanic names. And I didn't know. She goes, no, you're a treaty tribe. And I'm like, well, aren't we all? I don't understand. I thought we all were. She goes, no. A lot of us here had to fight for recognition. And it blew my mind that you had to actually fight the U.S. government to say, give us, how do you say, like, look at me.
Our
I'm
culture.
Native American too.
Yeah. Yeah.
And we need to preserve our culture.
Yes.
I did not know.
They had to fight for that?
Yeah. But then, how do you say, a little, I think just like any other culture, there's like some prejudice inside the culture.
Oh, of course.
So they were like, how the thing, like with me and my friend Terry, she was Kickapoo. She was from Kansas. And how I'm from here, they used to say things like come between us and shove us apart and say part in the prairies and stuff like that,
Oh
and
my gosh.
It got to a point where I was just in a bad mood, and we were having a employee conference. So we had people down there from Minnesota and everything, and we were there, and I don't know, we were in a conference room, and it just got bad. I felt like we were being picked on, so of course, I put up with as much as I could, and I told them, you know what, I don't feel bad because at least my ancestors were warriors. We were not basket weavers, and so everybody
Was that necessary?
well, they were picking on us.
They were.
To me, in my mind, it's like we're all native and we're all fighting for the same thing. You may have fought for
Differently than I did.
Yeah, may have had to fight the government for recognition for them to give you lands you could call a reservation. But we're still fighting the same fight in modern day.
Yes.
To preserve our culture and our languages, and this is
all
the
our
fight.
cultures.
Yes, this is all the same fight. And for you to sit there and have a grudge against me because my tribe has a treaty with the U.S. government and you don't.
Yeah. Those are not things to be fighting about.
Yeah, that's, you know what, dude, I wasn't there. I probably wouldn't have signed the treaty. We would have been dead and not had no land. I don't know, but
who is a very famous Lakota warrior?
Oh, there's quite
Or
a
maybe
few.
your favorite?
There is. I think my favorite is Red Cloud.
Red Cloud, yes.
Yeah, because a lot of people say Red Cloud was like a sellout. He was too soft. He signed the treaty, but we're all fighting for those treaty rights today. If he didn't sign it, what would you have had?
I know.
If
He had to
sign
do
that
something
treaty-
for his people.
Yeah.
At that time, he had to.
Yes, that's what he wanted. Because it was the same time as he was a chief. Red Cloud was a chief, and Sitting Bull was a chief. Sitting Bull wanted to fight. Let me fight. I'm gonna fight. You know, he even took a band up to Canada.
Did he?
And they about starved to death, so they came back.
I read that. I read that whole thing on that.
Yeah.
Yes, and he came back.
Yeah, so he brought his tribe back, but what the fuck? Well, cops going. But anyway, he became semi-famous. You know what I mean?
Sitting Bull?
Yeah.
Everyone knows Sitting Bull. That's a big thing.
Where he became semi-famous amongst the Indians. You know, he's a big rebel.
Yeah.
He took a band up to Canada. Even his own son turned around and came back.
Yeah.
You know, and so he got gifts from his people and things like that. And he still criticized Red Cloud, you know, for signing the treaty, because he's like, I'm a prisoner here on our land. See, the thing about back in the day, then Indians had no concept of how you could own a piece of Mother Earth. I mean, that's your land and this is my land. You know, that part's yours and this part's mine. We didn't understand any of that.
Because everything was Mother Earth.
It was Mother Earth. You know, it belonged to everybody who roamed the earth. It's respected. You know. You know. And,
great way to live.
Yeah, and white man came and said, "Oh no, we're taking this land. This is going to belong to us." How could you own dirt? You know, how could you own that hill?
So that whole concept was hard for you guys to even wrap your head around. And so you're fighting for what? You know?
Yeah.
You were trying to kill us for Mother Earth?
And then you're saying we're basically prisoners here on this reservation with, and you're going to feed us? We can't hunt for ourselves. You know, by then they almost wiped the buffalo out, you know, so we were starving. And we're stuck here, and you're gonna feed us, and we can't hunt. We really can't own a gun to go out and feed our families, or you know.
When you break it down to the basic like that, it's like
it's like the Holocaust. It was the Holocaust. You know, they fed bad beef. You know, by the time, because we didn't have trucks with refrigeration then. By the time they got the salted beef to the reservations here, they were bad. Like they gave out blankets with you know what I mean?
Yes.
Smallpox?
Yes.
Smallpox thing?
They were trying to, yes.
Yeah. It's, how do you say, to get rid of us. It was,
they wanted to erase everything of your everything that would ever, your culture, your
it was kill the Indian, save the man. That's what it was. That's what they used to say in the boarding schools too.
What?
They were kill the Indian and save the man.
But an Indian is a man.
No, the Indian part of the man, make him a good Christian, because Indians are savages. It was kill the Indian, save the man. That's what it was.
Oh my God, to be that, you know what, Nolene, to be that disrespected.
Yeah.
To be treated like that in your own home. You know what I mean?
Yeah, in your own.
And they wonder why everyone is still so angry.
Yeah.
About that situation. Like the Black Hills. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
All that.
Look it up. When Native Americans actually became U.S. citizens. You know what that date is?
No.
I believe it was 1924.
1924?
June 1st, I believe, if I'm remembering correctly, is June 1st, 1924, Native Americans actually became U.S. citizens. That's what I mean. How do you say, people think, oh, this was years ago.
Yeah, why are they still mad?
Yeah, you can't blame my ancestors for what's being done to you. No, bitch. We're talking 1924. I became a citizen. You probably got here in 1890 and was a fucking citizen. You know, and then how do you say, everything, the boarding schools, when the 215 came out, and everybody was saying, oh my God, but that was so long ago. What do you mean so long ago? I graduated from a boarding school in 1982.
1982?
Yeah.
Jeez. years.
That's not long ago.
And then when we talk about the crimes,
we're not talking about what your ancestors
crimes against
did.
the children.
Yeah, we're talking what your parents did.
Yeah.
You know?
Oh, this is still very, very close, you know?
Yeah.
And I think people need to understand that. We're not speaking about something that happened, you know, so long ago that we shouldn't be. Yeah, it's not. It's a battle that's gotten worse.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
They tried to take more, and they tried to demonize your whole tribe.
Mm-hmm. I got to look into it, too, because it was only maybe, I'm going to say within 6-7 years, that our votes for the U.S. president actually got counted. We had to take that to court.
Jeez Louise. And
This is what I mean when people say, don't, like the slaves, the slavery. Oh, with the black people. Oh, you can't blame us for that. That was our ancestors. Bitch, we're talking modern day still shit here on this reservation that goes on.
Yeah, we're in Pine Ridge again, right?
Yes, we are in Pine Ridge.
Pine Ridge Reservation. It cracks me up. You have nothing else, but you have a cannabis shop. I don't.
That's a new business.
I know. It just cracks me up. It's like, why don't you guys work on a lot of things?
Yeah. Yeah.
Well, just more money. Well, more opportunities for the people here, so they can live a happy life here.
Yes, a more. How do you say like this? Like I was saying about the moccasin factory.
This one right here.
Worked up there for I don't know how many years. They worked up there, and like I said, when we lived so far out, but we used to still come to the moccasin factory and pick up moccasins. I was a little girl then, but I remember. But we didn't have electricity. We lived off kerosene lamps. Kerosene lamps.
Right.
We called them.
You know what? If they still had that business right here, you know how well that would do?
Yeah.
And how many people could employed from the reservation?
It's actually authentic then, you know?
So Pine Ridge is the poorest nation in the United States, the Pine Ridge Reservation. And Pine Ridge is everybody Lakota?
Yes. Unless if they're...
And everybody's Lakota.
Like I said, we still got like members that are married to like Rosebud, Lord, stuff. Even some Navajo. My cousin was married a Navajo that he met.
At least they got a new hospital there.
Yeah, we got the new hospital. Don't ask me how. I went in there one time. I'm like, okay, I'm sick enough. I got like 3-4 things. It's worth it now to go sit in there and wait. So I sat in there, I think, over 2 hours, almost 3 hours to get back to the doctor. And the doctor tells me, all you got is 13 minutes now of my time, and I can only see you for one symptom.
What?
So my mind is going like, okay, what's the worst one? What's the worst one? What can I, you know, like, what can I do for my other symptoms at home or traditional medications that I can take at home, and I'm gonna be okay. The worst one, I do need modern medication for. I'm thinking. You know, and it's like, okay, you know what? I got an ear infection. Give me the antibiotic because the antibiotic will work on other things in my body. You know?
God, you're smart.
It's like, it sucks. You know? It's like
what did COVID do to the reservation? Because I was reading on COVID, the COVID rates, what it did to the res, and I think it was a lack of money and a lack of health care, lack of shots, lack of education. I don't know, but the res got hit hard.
Yeah, we got hit hard. we did get hit hard, but I blame a lot of this on our tribal council. I blame our tribal council for not being more organized because I know of. Okay, so they put out an ordinance. If you came in contact or you had COVID, you had to quarantine. Or if you didn't quarantine, then they took you to jail. So, or you got charged, I think it was $1,000 fine.
To sit with all the other people that aren't quarantined, right?
Or you got $1,000 fine. The fuck's got the money for $1,000
No one.
fine?
Not here. Not out here.
Yeah, especially not out here. I don't live here yet, but I don't have money for $1,000 fine.
No one has the money. Well,
and so
that's rent. Do you know what I mean? That is rent.
Well, that's rent to you guys, but that's
Rent and food.
yeah. I could live a month and a half off $1,000.
Oh, yeah.
You know, but then so they were quarantined. They promised them that they would come. They had the monies to come and drop them food, bring them water, medicines, whatever they needed. Stay quarantined and we'll bring you food. Okay, so this one family stayed quarantined for 4 days. The baby was running out of milk. They were out of food. Hey, when's somebody gonna bring us something? When bring me something?
So they didn't have anybody bring them supplies?
They didn't have them.
Oh, but they had to quarantine.
They were quarantined. I came down
Wrong.
one time and I seen people standing out. Well, it's more on Manderson District. It was where I'm from. Out there, they were out on their easements, out on their driveways like this, waiting. This car was coming by and dropping off boxes of food. So I got into Manderson and I was talking to a friend of mine there, and she goes, no. She goes, but the box of food that they're dropping, the majority of stuff in those foods are expired.
They couldn't even eat it?
They couldn't eat it. Foods were expired.
Why would your tribal council allow that?
For real.
And they have millions of dollars.
Yes.
Their own, I mean, we're talking right here where we're at on this land with these people, and they had millions of dollars for COVID, and people were literally starving and quarantined on a mandatory quarantine, and if they didn't, they would get fined and jailed.
Yeah. So
Why were they being punished
that was
so much?
Yeah, that was a presidential order. I don't know what happened. There's so many stories that people sent out. I told them, you know what, you need to put that on Facebook.
You do.
Something needs to be done.
Tell me a
said,
story.
Don't just say it though.
Yeah, tell me a story.
Take pictures of it. Take pictures that prove what you're saying.
Yes.
You know?
Amen.
And post it with your story because people need to know. You know, it's
They do.
recorded.
And they say nothing ever changes. Things don't change because people have to make a noise.
Correct.
People, and the power of social media is powerful.
Yes, and it's I don't know. I posted on my Facebook when I used to go on Facebook a long time ago, and this was a guy, a newspaper guy from years back. This must have been like 20 years ago. He said, so what do you think a solution would be for this reservation, you know, to improve? What's to go on? What needs to be done for this reservation to improve, the whole situation to improve? And he basically said what I said. The BIA needs to step in. We need the BIA needs to step in, take over run these programs for at least 4 to 5 years. Let us get our shit straight. Get all of the people who are embezzling, the crooked attorneys that are pocketing millions of dollars.
Tribal council that are selling drugs.
Yes. All of this. Get the BIA in here so that all the nepotism is fucking gone.
Yeah.
You know? Let's get the BIA in to run everything for at least 5 years. Flush all these no goods out. And we can get our shit
kind of like what we need to do to Senate.
And meet and see who would be the best to sit on our tribal council. Let's start all
and let
over.
the people pick.
Yeah.
Okay, then you need to find one person that will start that because it actually becomes a movement.
Yeah, but I've been fighting for a long time. It's not bad.
You guys got to gather together.
But see,
it's hard.
Everybody has this pride thing. Okay, so we're gonna fight. We're a sovereign nation. We're a sovereign nation. We're a sovereign nation. So, okay, we're gonna take back IHS. The fuck knows how to run a medical hospital? Who knows how to do this on this tribal council? Who can do that? Let IHS do it. They've been doing it for a long time. There's things we could do to petition IHS to improve what we need done. But you took over the whole damn thing. Now what? Are we?
I think there needs to be. It's not hard to do. A light brought onto the council. Where's the money? Why is the money? And just do a little. It's not. What it comes down to is people just have to get involved start researching, and then shine the brightest, biggest light on these people. So bright, they can't stand it.
There's this, you see this. We're in Pine Ridge, we're in Oglala. We're going to other places where they don't have that access to. It's all word of mouth that travels. So a lot of it is gossip. You know what I mean? Oh, this is what I heard. This is what. No, show me proof.
Do you have any new upcoming American Indians that are coming up that would have this knowledge and this love for their culture and their people that could do something?
There is.
I mean, you need some like activists on this.
Yeah.
That are just really good at all the business side of it, all of it.
We're our own. You know the crab story, right?
No.
That is us. That is us. It's like you got a bucket of crabs, and one of them starts doing better than the rest, and he's getting to the top of the bucket to climb out or to look out and see what the hell's out here. The other crabs grab him and drag him back.
And that's
out.
sad. That might be the saddest thing I just heard.
We don't get nowhere. We don't get nowhere because it's all.
Well, then it has to be a person.
Oh, you don't live here. You live off.
It has to be a person.
You're
then
not a full blood. You're not.
But
you're
you know,
related to that person.
But it has to be a person that is part of it that could explain it to people that they would have respected, and just tell them, you guys deserve better. You guys deserve more.
That's being done. That's been done. That's still going on. That's still going on. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's not like nobody has not tried. There are people out here, good people out here. Like I said, remember I told you about.
Then tell me who they are,
Penny.
and then we need to help gather and get some money behind it and get a voice. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because it's hard to do it by yourself.
Yeah.
But you get a group, you get organized, unstoppable.
Okay.
Because and the bottom line is to do best for your people, for this land you're here, and for the people that are suffering. And they are suffering. You're talking about all those people that are missing off this reservation. What is going on, and why isn't anybody talking about it? And why isn't anything being done? Human beings, a lot of girls are being missing from this reservation. And you read about it, and you do post on the ones that are, and I try to share it. But anytime, when we are right here where we're at today, there's girls missing, and the problem's getting worse. What's going on? Are they being trafficked? What's going on?
We don't know.
And that's not right.
That's the thing. We had to fight too. For our MMIWs to be included in the South Dakota and the United States in their murdered and missing or databases. We had to fight for that.
Why?
We just got that.
You just got on the missing person thing?
Yep. We just barely got that last year.
And you know how huge and effective that is?
We barely got that.
Last year?
Last year.
Okay, I'm going to find out why this tribe, why you guys weren't allowed earlier, because you know how big a database that is?
Yeah.
Do you know how effective it is?
Yeah.
I actually went to, I'm an instructor for one of their things. I can teach on that for National Institute of Missing Children and whatever.
Yeah, we just barely made it on there. Okay, so this year's budget comes around in South Dakota. We barely got on last year. This year's budget comes around, the Attorney General says, oh, we don't have the budget for the MMIW this year. We don't have no money for you. What? Because they can't come unto our sovereign nation.
That makes me
numbers.
mad.
It is like, holy shit. We don't have a budget for you guys. We don't have no money for you.
People just live.
Yeah.
And then in the summertime, this land is gorgeous.
Not this summer it wasn't. We're so dry out here.
Are you suffering from drought too?
Yeah.
Colorado's really suffering
Drought
too.
out here so bad.